Good morning. I was brushing my teeth and I very quickly realised that actually it's a activity which lots of people with sensory processing disorder find difficult, and it's one of the most commonly asked questions when I go and do talks for parents as well as professionals. And so I thought I'd very quickly go live this morning and give you a few reasons why some people with sensory processing disorder may find brushing their teeth difficult. So it's a really important thing for us to do, brush our teeth, so obviously keep our teeth clean and healthy. So we need to make sure we can put support in place so that we can help people to be able to do that with sensory difficulties. So one of the main reasons might be due to oversensitivity in a tactile sense. So in our mouth we've got thousands of tactile receptors. So as soon as you put something inside, it's going to gain so much feedback, so much information from that object in our mouth. So putting something plastic with lots of bristles in our mouth can be too much information. It could hurt someone. It could create a sensation of a pain for someone with a hyper tactile processing difficulty. So for some people also, tactile might be related to the toothpaste. So when we brush our teeth, it foams in our mouth, and that feeling, that sensation can be difficult for some people to process. So we can buy toothpaste that doesn't foam. So if that you think might be one of the difficulties, then maybe try looking at non-foaming toothpaste. Ways to explore tactile: you can buy small chewable toothbrushes. You can get them in the UK in service stations, in the toilets they normally have them in. They're a little ball, and you put them in the mouth and they chew them. Sometimes they support people better than using a toothbrush. They're just a chewing action, so therefore rather than having this rubbing inside their mouth on their skin, by chewing something it helps them, it's better. So maybe try that. For some people, brushing your teeth can be hugely difficult, especially if you have difficulties within your proprioceptive sense. So your proprioceptive sense is the awareness of your body in space. I should have apologised, there's a fan in the room and I can't seem to turn it off, so I'm really sorry if that's really noisy. Proprioceptive sense. So when you brush your teeth, you have to be able to reach your arm out in front of your body and find your midline and then explore your mouth with your toothbrush. You need to have a really good awareness of your body to be able to do that. Therefore, if you have difficulties processing your proprioceptive sense, so the awareness of your body, so the feedback you get from your joints and your muscles, the action of brushing your teeth can be very difficult to do. So therefore you might see someone who is quite happy to have their teeth brushed, but they want someone else to do it for them, because doing it themselves is just too difficult for them to do. For some people with vestibular hypersensitivities, when we brush our teeth, we move our head quite a lot, which can give us extra vestibular stimulation, so the awareness of a movement and gravity. So for some people who might prefer, you might recognise them staying still, or maybe avoiding joining in an activity, so they're receiving too much vestibular input. A way for them to regulate that might be to avoid taking part in activities. Therefore, brushing your teeth, if your head's moving a lot, you're stimulating your vestibular sense, which can then lead into an oversensitivity of that sensory system, the vestibular sense. When we brush our teeth, we also create a lot of sound, and it's one of the ones which maybe we don't necessarily consider as much. For someone who's hypersensitive to sound, when you're brushing your teeth, and you can practice this morning, when you brush your teeth when your mouth's open, it makes a very different sound to when your mouth is closed. But also the vibrations create sounds, and when your jaw moves, those vibrations are interpreted into sounds. So your brain receives that as sounds. So for some people who are hypersensitive to sound, brushing your teeth can be a really noisy activity to do. Some people, it might be related to their visual sensing system. So bathrooms tend to be really bright and they're quite reflective. So again, for someone who's hypersensitive to visual information, lots of mirrors, lots of overhead bright lights can be too much for them to be able to identify the object, the toothbrush, and to brush their teeth. The visual sense works really closely with your vestibular sense. So the action of brushing your teeth means if I'm finding it difficult to visually focus on something, I'm therefore going to find the action difficult to do as well. And then smell and taste, we can't ignore those two, especially when we're putting something in our mouth. Lots of the time, toothpastes, we buy them in a mint flavour thinking that they're really nice and really refreshing, but actually for some people that can cause too many sensations. It could almost be a burning feeling in their mouth. So you can buy toothpaste that don't have flavours. Don't forget, when we taste things, it's processed with our sense of smell as well. So if someone's hypersensitive to smells, it can also mean that the toothpaste could be too overpowering for them as well. So smell and taste, don't ignore them, but their smell is one of the hardest sensory processing disorders to identify. Once we've identified it, we need to be able to support it in an appropriate way as well. So teeth brushing, very important activity for us to be able to do. However, it's a multi-sensory activity. The more important an activity is in life for us to do, the more senses we need to do it. I've just highlighted some of the reasons for each of the 7 sensory systems why someone might find toothbrushing difficult. There may be lots of other reasons as well, due to hyper and oversensitivity or hypo and undersensitivity to any sensory system. I cover lots more on my workshops about identifying characteristics for sensory processing disorders. So if you want to find out more about that, have a look on our website and send us an email if you want to find out how you can attend one of those workshops. Have a great day. Bye.